What's up, guys? Welcome back to Man Cave Collectibles, coming at you today with a little something new for the channel. So if you've been keeping up with my channel, if you watch my toy hunts, I have jumped into the world of wrestling figures. And here are my first two. It's the WrestleMania 3 Macho Man Randy Savage in ring cart, along with Andre the Giant in his ring cart. When I saw these, it really just brought back memories of my childhood and watching wrestling and just how much of a fan I was then. And I think the wrestling figures that I'm seeing nowadays, they've really taken a big step forward from the wrestling figures that, were coming out even 5, but definitely 10, 15 years ago. I think the face sculpts or the scans that they're doing nowadays have just really increased the value of these figures and the collectability as an adult collector. And as we can see here with Randy Savage and Andre the Giant, they just really did a phenomenal job on these face sculpts for sure. So what we've got is them inside the ring carts. Now, the purpose of these ring carts were in WrestleMania 3. They did not have a lot of time as far as the window of opportunity to have WrestleMania 3. They had like a 3-hour window, and they were very concerned about the wrestlers taking so much time to get down to the ring, so they took a scissor lift and basically made a makeshift ring out of a scissor lift so they could more or less drive the wrestlers to the ring to prevent them from kind of getting sidetracked and getting caught up in the hype of WrestleMania 3. I think there was maybe like 2 wrestlers that did not use the ring cart. One was Hulk Hogan, who was the champ at that time, and he was facing off against Andre. So Andre came out in the ring. He actually came with Bobby the Brain. It would have been neat had they, included Bobby the Brain in this cart with him, or in this package, maybe made it a 2-pack of sorts. And put him in. Even if it cost a little more, I think that would have been cool and kind of added to the accuracy of the ring cart package here. But either way, it's pretty cool, and that was the significance behind it. So both of these guys were introduced in their ring carts in WrestleMania 3. So taking a look at what we got here, WrestleMania, big logoing there. Obviously, Mattel's branding there. You've got the names of our wrestlers. These would be phenomenal for inbox collectors. As you can see everything. This is basically how you would pose them on a shelf. So they did a really good job with that. As we spin around, we actually get some images of our 2 wrestlers here on the side. Spin around to the back. Just product shots there. Got the hologram there in the top corner, showing these are officially licensed product, as well as kind of a quick bio down here in the bottom. We show Randy Macho Man Savage here at 6'2", 237 pounds. And then we've got Andre the Giant down here at 7'4", 520 pounds, just a mammoth. And Macho Man actually ended up facing off against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat at WrestleMania 3, and as we've already discussed, Hulk Hogan was Andre the Giant's opponent. Spinning on around, same thing on this side. Let's go ahead and break these guys out of their packaging and see what we got. All right, guys, so we got Macho Man and Andre the Giant out of their packaging and onto our review table. And there's some good and some bad, and we'll talk about both. But I wanted to first off go ahead and just kind of show you outside of the packaging what they look like here in their ring carts as far as size, scale, that type of thing. Something about their ring cart here, it does have rollers, so it rolls just fine. You can see here on the bottom there are 4 rollers there. And each ring cart actually has a peg in the front and then a peg in the back. So you can see I have Andre the Giant on his back peg, and then on this side you can see I have Macho Man on his front peg, and you have a peg in the back. Now, due to their limited articulation, you're not able to peg both feet in at the same time. They have, no true articulation, or, what we like to call the splits. They cannot do the splits with this kind of old style articulation that they have here in their hip joints. Also, as far as the rings are concerned, this is just a really soft, almost like a rubber band type of plastic. It has some give to it, and probably would be pretty durable. I don't think you'd have to worry about it breaking too awfully easy. And then they're just kind of ran through kind of these turnbuckle pads here, and that's what's holding them in place. And each one of our pads have, the W logo on them. So that's pretty cool. It'd be nice if there was some type of logoing here on the outside, but I don't think that was accurate. If we look back, I think this is kind of the way it looked, just with that all blue. Let me go ahead and get these guys out of their ring carts, and we'll take a look at them a little closer. All right, guys, so we got them out of the ring cart and here on the table. Let's go ahead and take a closer look. Now, one issue I had right out of the gate, they had if you're a collector, you know what I'm talking about. They have these little clear looking rubber bands that they put around things to kind of hold our figures in place. There was a clear rubber band that went around his shades and around the back. And when that rubber band came off, it actually took off the black paint from his shades there. You can see that where it kind of chipped off. So that's a little bit annoying that occurred, but I think I can probably fix that back pretty easy. I've got some hobby markers that I can do that for, kind of fix that. Other than that, the paint looks pretty good. Got a little something here on my thigh that's, not much we can do about it, but paint's pretty good everywhere else. On the way down here to the boots, this is just a molded plastic here in the knee pads, and then paint here as far as the pants here are concerned. Got his painted on wrist wraps and finger wraps there. A little bit of chippage here on this one. Face sculpt just looks phenomenal. I think they did just a phenomenal job with the beard here running all the way around. Now, one thing here, these glasses do come off. Just pop that off and there you go. You can see that face sculpt. They got his eyes very nicely painted in there, kind of a bluish color to those, so it looks really good. The hair is just a soft molded plastic, but it looks good as well. Has all the details kind of molded into it. Macho Man there on the backside. The muscle definition, everything. This all looks really good. I'm sure these are probably body molds that we've seen used before. No torso articulation here. That's something that I'm not used to. I do a lot of Marvel Legend reviews, things like that. So we don't have any kind of ab crunch there. We do have, the spin, but these are definitely just kind of put them in the ring cart and pose them types of figures. So basically those just slide back in. They have basically like little holes here that's kind of molded into the hair to kind of help hold that. And you just slide them back into that. And then between that and the nose, it just holds them up real nice for you. And then looking at Andre the Giant here, pretty simple for him. He basically just had kind of that black singlet or whatever you want to call it. Not a lot of detail here in the chest area. There's no nipples or anything like that there. It's just kind of a smooth plastic. But where I think they really won here is this right here, to me, is one of the best face sculpts I've ever seen for Andre the Giant on any figure. I know that like Super 7 has a Andre the Giant figure coming out here soon, and to me, this face sculpt, at least what I've seen in promo pictures, this one holds its own really well. Hair is nicely sculpted here. Moving on around to the back, just painted on here for his outfit. Just that same, color tone all the way down for his skin, and then the boots here are painted in black, and they are separately molded from his body. But he just doesn't have a lot of, different details, kind of like with Macho Man. You've got, the knee pads and the different colors there on his shorts, the wristbands. So, he's got a lot of different things going on. But, yeah, just a great job on this face sculpt, even all the way down to the teeth and the eyes. They just really did a really good job. For $20, I feel like this was well worth the $20. Now, as far as the articulation on these guys, it's going to be pretty much the same for the two of them. So we'll just take a look here at Macho Man. So we can get down about there. We can get up to about right there. Andre the Giant is a little more limited in his articulation in the neck than he is, but as far as their arms, it's pretty much the same mold. So you can get up to about right there, down the full 360. We do have single jointed elbows here that we can't quite get to 90 degrees. Lots of articulation here in the wrist, spinning around 360. As we said, nothing in the abdominal area except for the rotation. We can get the legs up, but it is tough. It is really, really tough. I think, yeah, there we go. We can get them up to there. But, you're going to have to worry probably about, maybe a little bit of scuffing here with your painted plastic. So you want to be careful with that. Nothing out. The knees are single jointed for both of them. He's a little more hindered than Andre is just due to the knee pads here. Now, one thing that is nice, they do have a cut in the calf there, which is good. That helps some. And then we've got plenty of articulation here in the ankle as far as forward and back, but we have no rocker with these guys. We're not going to rock from side to side on either one of them. So, like I said, this is kind of a pose it and leave it type of situation for both of these guys. Just a neat thing that they've offered at a really, really affordable price point at $20 to get the ring cart. There's probably folks who purchase these just for the ring cart and potentially reuse them in some way. If there's other figures that you could pose in them or may look better in them than these two. But, as far as just for a figure, I think they look really, really good. They did a great job on the sculpts. It's just not a highly articulated figure like we've come so used to nowadays here in 2021 to getting, 65 points of articulation. I'm being dramatic there, but seriously, in the upper 20s or low 30s on most figures. So definitely a step back if you decide to go with this line from WrestleMania. Let me bring in a few other figures for size comparison and we'll wrap up our video. All right, guys, and then just for size comparison, we've got kind of your standard 6-inch Marvel Legend Deadpool here. And then we've got another figure by Mattel, which is our Beastman figure from the Classics line. So I don't have any other wrestling figures out of package yet. I do have the Ultimates Hulk Hogan, which I'll be reviewing in the coming week, as well as the Triple H Ultimate figure. And I also have the Jake the Snake new figure that's just recently dropped. So I'll be reviewing those in the coming days, and we'll do some additional size comparisons as I continue to add wrestling characters to my collection. So there you go, guys. That's what we got. As always, drop comments down below. What do you think of this line? Are you looking for it? Do you want to pick it up or find it? Just for me, as kind of a new wrestling collector, what other Andre the Giant and Macho Man Randy Savage figures are out there comparable? Are there figures that are better than these two? I would be very interested in knowing that. If there's something that's better out there, I'd like to pick it up. If not, how do these compare? So definitely like to hear from some of our wrestling collecting gurus out there. Hit that like button as well. It helps get this video out there for other people to see. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, consider subscribing. Love to have you as part of the Man Cave Collectibles team. We are knocking on 3,000's door, so that will be a big milestone for the channel. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time.
Maybe crazy, but you still amaze me.